Hi guys, this is Love and Sparkles. It's 5 o'clock for Friday Live. Okay, I have the double minions. See, I'm at the minion house now. But I want to show you, because I don't have mine on my wall yet. But my daughter has hers. And it is beautiful.
My name's Nathan.
There we go. She has beautiful blue walls. But there's Gypsy Violet with the blue background. Beautiful, beautiful. And yes, there's Aiden. Say hi. There's Asher.
Hi. I'll be drawing.
Yeah, I got left home and they went to Shinedown. I would have loved to gone to Shinedown. I went and saw them a couple of years ago. They were like great. Yeah. I don't have anything here I can do, and her table is completely taken over, so it's like no table. Otherwise, I would do one of her diamond paintings, but that's out. And dinner tonight consisted of 2 cups of coffee. I think that was it. 2 cups of coffee.
I need my home.
And I will stay on here for a while. People will pop in and out, in and out. It's kind of hard to do here because I don't have anything here to do. But I am going to change this channel because I don't know. There we go. That's.
Hey, Aunt, you know I'm knocking my hammer? Why?
Okay, we're going to try this fire stick thing. Trying her fire stick thing. Let's see. YouTube. Hi, I don't know who came in, but hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. So I'll be watching the people I watch from here tonight because I bet they don't come home till really late. Because her husband's talking about going, hi, Cassandra. Nice to see you. What did you get? What did you get? Did you get anything last night? I didn't think I'd be up. I was kind of hoping I'd be asleep. That sounds bad, but I was kind of hoping I'd be asleep. But I wasn't. And you know, the strange thing is I found the 20%, the 20%, I don't know, what is it doing? The 20% discount to actually save me more money than the 25. The 25 I actually was going to pay more because of shipping, whereas with the 20 I was above the shipping, so I actually saved like $3 using the 20% than I would have if I had used the other one. I was like, that is crazy. So I kept flipping in and out. I couldn't find, I would have loved to have found my gift card, but I can't find it nowhere. I mean, nowhere can I find my gift card. So I didn't get to use my gift card. I have been scouring and scouring. I don't know if they just forgot to send me my gift card, which, you know, that could be. So I'm going to have to contact them and tell them, yo, I don't have my gift card. Where's my gift card? But yes, I did get one last night. I got the Lady of the Forest, which they were calling her a fairy, but you don't call fairies lady. You call gods and goddesses ladies. So evidently she's a goddess. Oh my God. But yeah, I got her and I got some frosted crystals, which is what I'm going to use in her wings. And I'm going to try to bling her up. Ah, yeah. Well, if I didn't have the 20, actually it saved me more than if I had used my code. But I had enough in my code that it would have been okay. What? It's like, what? I'm trying to look up something and it keeps there we go. I just need a space. I just need a space. So I went ahead and got the Lady of the Forest because I'm going to use her for my event in October. And okay. Trying to type on this stupid. Yeah, you have to get all the way to the end of Sparkles before it'll pull me up. There. There we go. The event is Let Your Witch Goddess Free. So it can be anything that's witchy, goddessy, wizardly, godlike, Thor, Apollo, Zeus, any of those. So it's really open-ended. And it's from October 1st to October 31st. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's going to be beautiful because, like, all the light green in the top of her, around her waist, is all ABs. And, like, the little white spots on the bottom of her dress, I'm going to go to Tmall and get her little half pearl drops. They look like a pearl, but they're half. I would say anything like a cat, with a full moon, that would be witchy, so that would work. I have a lot of cat ones, like, with a full moon behind it and stuff like that. Black cats, I'm pretty open-ended. You can even start it with Emeralds and Fairy Light and the drill along, drills and chills. And as long as you're not like almost done with your canvas, you can use it. So you can actually use that one for all three events. If you was to get a big one and it take you 2 months to complete it, you could use it for Drills and Chills, Emeralds and Fairy Lights event, and my event. I was like not up to doing 8 weeks of giveaway. So I figured 4 was well more than enough. Well more than enough. And I sit there and I was going to go to the Goodwill store. I didn't make it. Hold on just a minute. Say hi. Talk to the people.
Hi.
Hold the phone. Nana's got to put her hair up. My hair's falling out. Say hi.
Well, I have a Mickey Mouse shirt on today, and we're gonna go to Disney World when those.
When all those are gone?
Yes.
Is that what that string is?
Yes.
They made a string, a construction paper string, and whenever all the construction paper string are gone,
we get to go to there for
then they're
7 days.
Then they're going to Disney World for 7 days.
Or 6.
6 or 7.
Yes.
That is a trip I would not want to be on because they're going to be worn out when they get back. And I have their dogs, which is why I don't get to go to my festival. I was going to go to a festival where it was 3 days of a tent, bonfires. Yeah, he was telling me all about Disney World. All about it.
Yeah, and the only thing I can think of is Disney World.
Disney World. That's all you can think of?
Yes. I'm trying to find a tree for survival mode in Minecraft.
Yeah, I was babying them. He goes, "Are you babying us?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm babying you." Oh, I didn't realize how bad my eyebrows are. Because I'm on the TV. I'm a delay.
You're kind of gray.
Yeah, they're kind of gray.
They're a little bit gray. ours, but the grown-ups and kids are just brown.
Are you hearing that? You're a little gray, but grown-ups and kids are just brown. So, are you saying Nana's ancient?
No,
No,
you're not old,
I'm not old. What am I?
Nana.
Oh, I'm just Nana. Well, that's a good answer. That was a good answer.
Our TV has much more.
Oh, I imagine there's going to be videos. There's going to be videos.
And I got hurt today. And I
Yeah.
got hurt today.
Yeah, he got hurt. He's got boo-boos on both hands.
I tried to pee on Asher.
Oh, that one, yeah. He tried to pee on his brother and he fell off. Was you on the up in the treehouse?
I was on the slide and bam!
Okay, he was on the slide, tried to pee on his brother, and he ended up falling off the slide.
Yeah, God said no, then he pushed me, and I said, why God when I got inside?
And he ended up peeing all over his own head.
I got pee on my face on accident.
Oh my gosh. So, yes, the child peed on his head.
I didn't mean to. It was on the floor already, then bang on the floor.
Yeah, that just tells you don't try to pee on your brother because you end up peeing on yourself. This is the same one that peed in the creek last week. You know, the one that was like, I'm just sitting down, so I'm peeing in the creek. And I was like, oh, God. It's like the things they do. I know. I remember him standing on the top rung of the ladder of the pool at the top, and he was standing up there and he was trying to pee on people's shoes at the bottom, and I told him he couldn't pee on their shoes, and he was so upset because I wouldn't let him pee on shoes.
That's when I was 4, right?
It's like, why do you think you need to pee on shoes?
That was when I was 4?
Yeah, that was when you were 4. Now you're 6. You know, you're not supposed to pee on people's shoes.
Yeah, I will not. I will not hurt people. I will not. And I don't even like my shoes getting wet. Because I peed on my own shoes.
Yeah, this one, yeah, he's the one I ended up getting rid of the bunk beds over because he kept jumping off the top bunk and
landing on
the queen bed, and they actually exploded the whole frame of the queen bed, and we had to go and actually drill it all back together because it was just a hot mess.
I liked jumping when I was 4. I liked jumping when I was 4.
You still like jumping now?
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Jumping is fun.
Like, let me see your hand. Show the people what you did to your hand.
So I was
That one was the scooter.
Yes, I was driving on my scooter by my own. Then
that one was the monkey bars.
Yes.
So both hands, he is jacked up. He jacked up his hands. But yes, I did get Lady of the Forest. I did her on Sezzle, so it's like 4 payments is $16 or $17. But I was like, yeah, I can use that. And it's so pretty. And the green just talked to me. It was like, ooh. That's like Forest Sprite. I bought her because of all the greens. It's like,
I love broccoli.
I don't know where I'm supposed to put all these pictures.
I love broccoli.
You like broccoli? But I think Lady of the Forest is going to go in my bedroom. Yeah. My bedroom's just going to be wall to wall because that big one, the hay that's you see in the group, when it's finally done, it takes a whole wall. It will be an entire wall because I guess Angie saw it and thought that once I finish that little area, it's done. No, the whole bottom of that thing is rolled up and the bottom is just as much as that top. He is into everything. He is 110% boy. I mean, boy. And the other one's just as bad. It's like, it's unreal, the stuff they get into. But at least he does try to clean up. When I tell him it's cleanup time, he does, he takes all the blankets and spreads them out over all the furniture, and is like making beds. And so at least they do pick up after themselves.
I'm a good boy.
Yes, most of the time.
Yeah, I just want to be good.
You are a good boy.
I try to be.
Hi, Judy. Hello. Say hi to Judy. Say hi, Judy.
Hi, Judy.
Lady right there. There, with all the waving hands. Yeah, I'm babying, as he calls it, instead of babysitting, because I'm here and they're at Shinedown. Now, would I like Shinedown? I would love Shinedown, but I'll hang out with y'all. Y'all's, my Shinedown tonight. But they're really good to see. I've seen Godsmack twice, I think, and I've seen. For YouTube, it's Love and Sparkles. In Facebook, it's Love and Sparkles. And then if you're going to join the event, it's just Let Your Witch Goddess Free. And then in Instagram, it's Levin_Sparkles. I tried to get it the same all the way across. It took me forever. It was like, it just didn't want to do it. But I think, mostly got it to where it's the same all the way across. I'm on your TV. Yeah, and Anna sees how bad her hair is now. So I've got you, I guess tomorrow when I get home.
If you want to see my going to full color,
maybe I'll do a video of face mask and my hair up in hair dye, my eyebrows with some hair dye. And I got this really cool mask. It's some kind of clay. Some, I don't know, Death Valley clay or something like that. And you add vinegar to it. Okay. No problem. But you add vinegar to it. And I mean, when it dries, it dries. So I won't be able to talk once it dries. This one is Aiden. Say hi, Aiden.
Hi. I'm trying to be a skeleton.
He's playing his tablet.
Yes. And I got Ariel.
And then the other one has actually found one of my videos. His name is Asher.
And I found one of them.
Oh, did you find one of me too?
Yes.
And they've looked me up for somehow or another. They found my videos on YouTube. And I was doing a live and they kept trying to talk to me. Tell her how old you are.
6.
You're 6.
Five and a 1.
5 and a 1. And how old is Asher going to be this year?
5.
5.
Yes.
My poor daughter, when she found out that she was pregnant with the third one, this one here is only like 9 months, 10 months old, and I thought she was going to. I mean, she called me. She was crying, showed me the pregnancy stick. I mean, before she even came home from having the third one, she got fixed. She was like, "Yeah, the critter factory is shut down." She told them she wasn't leaving that hospital till it was done, and she said if she went into labor early, she wouldn't go into any other hospital because that hospital was where her surgery was set up. I was like, so you're going to pop one out on the side of the road as you're going to the thing? Oh, and guys, she said, you're a big boy. Are you a big boy?
Yes.
Yeah, he knows how to climb and make some of his own food. Oh, yeah, your little dude died, didn't he?
Yes, I'm playing Minecraft in survival mode, and I do not like it so far.
Yeah, I don't like Minecraft at all. I went to the crystal store today because Nyx asked me to pick her up some stuff. And so I went in there and got it. And I picked me up some stuff. And when I came out, some guy and a woman was walking by. And he said, well, what's that store? And she goes, oh, that's the hippie store. So I guess I'm a hippie, guys. I'm a hippie. But, I went and got Nyx. So she said, give me some of those. I can't get those here. I still got to go out in my woods and pick some stuff for her. I did get a recipe that I'm going to do next year, and it's called allergy tea. And you start drinking it like the couple weeks before allergy season hits. But you start drinking it a couple of weeks before allergy season hits, and your allergies aren't supposed to be so bad.
Do you know what I mean?
And say, I could handle the runny nose or that runny nose and stuff, but the headache that you get from the sinuses just drives me nuts.
Got
And so I was like, yeah, I'll make some of that. And some of it, if I can figure out what it looks like, because I know it grows wild everywhere, the stinging nettle. So I'll go find some of that and a couple other things and put
I
it all
hate when I
together.
did.
She said, you make a gallon of it and you drink it, and when the gallon's done, you should be good. I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Ow.
Yeah, I was thinking you were, Cassandra, but I wasn't sure. See, that's me, but it's really bad in the spring because I mean, I'm allergic. I live out in the country. I live about 17 miles to the nearest town. And I mean, I'm surrounded by woods and weeds and flowers and trees, and I'm allergic to every single bit of it. And of course, I'm allergic to dogs and cats. And you've seen what's in my house, nothing but dogs and cats. At least I'm not allergic to kids. But I thought, well, I'll give it a try because if it works, even if I had to make that stuff and drink it once a day for the rest of my life, it'd be better than having a headache and waking up with your head feeling like it's being shrunk in a cotton ball or something. Because I was sitting there sniffling in the store and she goes, yeah, I make this stuff and it works great. And I was like, what's in it? I just looked it up on YouTube and it was like, I can get all those ingredients. Hey, I'm plugged in, or I was. Okay, you can have it. And so it was like, yeah, I can handle that. But it was like chamomile, mullein, nettle, and 2 or 3 other ingredients, and you put it all together. And then, yes, I love herbal remedies, and I'm just now getting back into it.
I'm just charging my tab right now.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, that creek that we were in was basically, I live on one side of the road and my dad lives on the other side of the road, and that was at the bottom of his front yard. My creek, my ex, when he was we were together, he actually built a swimming hole in my part of the creek, so you can actually go swim. But it's either too cold or in the summer too snaky, so I kind of avoid it. And where I was gonna take them, it's been raining like nonstop here, and so when we got there, that water was high and it was running really fast, and I was like, there ain't no way we're walking in that. So I was like, we'll do that another day. That is just going to be another day thing.
Soon when we get bigger. Soon we get bigger.
But yeah, well, the water had to get lower because it was even too big for Nana. It was even too big for Nana.
But if you want to dig into it, you can. But you need your super floaties on.
You're super floaty.
I said super floaty, guys. If you have a super floaty, put it on the PC.
I've actually had, and I got pictures to prove it. I have had deer in my backyard. I have had bear in my backyard.
We have seen the bear. We have seen deer, but not the bear.
We've had bobcats in the backyard. Squirrels on the front porch.
What?
I've had a coyote in the front yard, and it walked up and it peed on the tree where my dog sleeps all the time. And then looked at the house like, see what I'm doing? And then walked off. And I was just like, oh, that's so evil.
What?
And I caught him on the ring, because I have a ring that records everything out in the front. And that coyote just walked up to that tree, hiked the leg, and then walked off looking at the house. And I was just like, oh, Rocky's going to have to fit. Which he did. So is this 5 o'clock time? Do you think it's better than the 4 o'clock would be?
You would have been pop my fingers.
I don't want to pop your fingers.
But you would have been dead.
I don't want to pop your finger.
What do pop fingers mean?
Well, it's bad for your knuckles. You'll grow up and have bad knuckles.
Well, I popped my fingers before. And my body.
Yeah, it is. It is beautiful out at the house. It really
I
is.
love this Mickey Mouse shirt.
You love the Mickey Mouse shirt?
And it's a sword.
I'll be glad when my son comes out to get the torn up pool out of the front yard because he's got it all piled up. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nana, I almost got you, Mommy.
Yeah, that's because I look like mommy.
Well, you don't.
I just don't sound like mommy. Well, I kind of sound like
And
mommy.
your hair is not the same.
Well, it's because mine's getting gray.
Well, the top is getting gray, but the rest is purple.
It's not. He says my hair is purple. This is not purple. That is red.
Oh.
If you look at your mommy's hair, it's red. It is not purple. I can make green hair.
Hey, purple hair.
It is not purple hair.
Make it purple hair. Like a purple hair.
Okay.
And I'm just using Sissy's charger right now because I don't know where I don't use my charger over there because I want to like Nana.
Okay. Because I'm usually I'm at home, but then they needed me to babysit, and my granddaughter has a Girl Scout camp tomorrow morning, so they were like, "Can you stay tonight?" Because I don't know, I'll probably be watching you. Oh, excuse me, my nose is itching. I'll be watching Ruby Q whenever they finally come home. They'll probably go because I don't know if any of y'all go to Ruby's Lives, but yeah, she's supposed to show some more stuff tonight. So it's like, yeah, they'll probably come and go, "What are you watching, Mom?" My daughter, when she found out I told a lot of her stories when she was little, she was like, "I can't believe you told people that." It was like, oh, well. Okay. Actually, I was thinking 5 p.m. would be the better time because, for people on the east, it'd be 6, and for people, the other way, it'd be 3 or 4. So I figured that would be the better time.
And
I couldn't believe I was still up at 2 o'clock in the morning to hit that. Because for me, it was.
I want to.
Yeah, Mrs. Coffee is on at 9. I believe she comes on at 9. And then after Mrs. Coffee comes Ruby Q. And then Saturday night, I'm up all night with Nyx. You little skinny turd. Boy, that tooth is big. Yeah. See, he's missing his 2 front teeth. Got one coming in, and it's huge.
It's beaver teeth.
He said he has beaver teeth.
Ooh-wee.
So I may just do 5 to 7.
And I love getting work out.
You're giving me a workout because you keep popping up and down on me. Guys, I could not believe the phone call. I thought you're going to hit my head. The phone call I got yesterday. I got my surgeon called me, because she basically told me I could never go back to work. She stays on till, oh God, there's been times where I've seen the come. I'll look up and say, wow, it's daylight. She does anywhere from 8 to 10-hour lives. So she's on all night. Yep. That's my weekend. Friday is Mrs. Coffee, Ruby Q, and then Saturday is Nyx. It's like, yep. Oh boy. And then the other night, me and Nyx we talked to each other on the phone, did a phone call, a phone chat, and I think we was on the phone for 2.5 hours. It was like, oh my Lord. But we just got to talking, and we just talked and talked and talked and talked. We were talking about the rocks and rock hunting, and would you stop it? And like the ones that are too big to tumble, I'm gonna saw into smaller pieces and then tumble them. And if they're too thin to tumble, I'll just use them in the vibrating tumbler, and that way it shines them, but it doesn't wear them down. It's like I've watched many YouTubes on the rock tumbler.
I want to end this too. Good night.
It's a rabbit hole, guys. It's a rabbit hole.
I'm actually going to.
Oh, you need to go to Nyx. Oh, it's a trip. Except for when they have the 4 in there, the 4 on at once. It just my poor brain just can't. It can't. It's too much. Too much. I was like, no, can't do it. I kept making it was still 4, and I was like, oh, I can't do it. Yeah, you need to take a Saturday afternoon to make it all the way to the end, because they will literally, I have been there and it's been like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning when we're getting off. And when I'm babysitting these little these little critters, it's like I don't even get sleep. It's like Sunday night, I'm just like I remember the night, Judy, that they accidentally locked you out. Oh my God, she was like freaking out, and she was looking all over Facebook for you, and she was looking on Instagram for you, and she was like, anyone have Judy as a friend? You need to contact her, tell her to come back. It was a mistake. And I was just like, it was kind of comical because she was just like freaking out trying to find you. That's like, I'll never forget your name because it was, yeah, she was just like all over the place. Yeah, and there's that beautiful picture up against the blue. Yeah. And then TJ, I like watching him, how he builds a pen. I've tried for 2 so far. No luck. And I'm really picky about it. And so it was like, man. But I saw a couple of his new pours. But those really intricate pours like that become the auctions. And I'm sorry, I'm not paying $155 for a pen. Yeah, as in the pens. Oh, it's so neat to watch him. But you can actually, he'll do a live pen turning. And I was watching and it was our post the other day when she was showing like they don't have the right equipment, and I was like, that's just way too much. That is cool. Glow in the dark would be neat. That would be neat.
Dark focus.
My daughter was like, they were sitting here, they was like going crazy. She was like, how do you do that? She was like, well, what? She goes, you're just ignoring them. I said, I just block them out.
And whenever you say clean up, I clean up because I want to be a good boy.
You know, if your dad saw you jumping on them pillows like that, what do you think you'd do?
Good.
Well, then what do you think you need to do?
Stop doing about that.
That's right. And how about pick them up?
Fun.
I said pick them up.
I can't just run away with them.
And if I count to 3, I'm going to go get your mom's little purple thing.
We're talking about this basketball. I do not like that.
Okay, well then put the pillows back up on the couch, or I'll go get Mr. Purple.
No, don't get Mr. Purple.
And then put the pillows back. At my house, it's known as Big Red, right? Nana has Big Red. And Mom's got Mr. Purple. It is really neat to watch him. I wished I had the equipment, but as it is, I'm doing the rock tumbling now, which this weekend I'll make a couple of videos because I got to clean some rocks. I told them I'd get all theirs cleaned up, and I'll do a video. I think it's just TJ's pin turning.
I'm stuck. You need some milk.
I think. Hold on just a minute. Well, I don't know if I do that, I might lose y'all, so I won't do that. But I think it's just TJ's pin turning, and I'll post a link to his page on my Facebook group. I'll put it up in the small businesses because I'm on his group. Because I do have, if you guys come into the Facebook group, I have a post where you can post your YouTube channels. Shh. Oh, that sounds awesome. I love confetti though. I mean, think of that Josephine wall I'm doing. I can do 600 drills and do 1 bead of each color. It's just like for real. Hi, Sarah. I hope you're feeling better, hon. And my heart goes out to you. I've been there, and it's been, next month will be 3 years. It does get better, but it takes time. Takes time.
when somebody's not.
Thanks, Judy. Because if I go out of StreamYard to go hunt for it, put it in, I may not. Yeah. And I'm on my phone. But like I was saying, if you go into the Facebook group, there is a post where you can link your YouTube pages, so that when people come in, if they want to find YouTube channels, they can go in there and get them. And there's also a place, if you have a small business, you can post for the small business in there. So if you have Etsy shops or whatever, you can post there.
Oh,
What's a KOIN? I haven't seen that one.
what's KFC?
That's kind of like Twitch. Twitch drives me nuts.
We never let you sleep.
A dragon. Now, if you have the dragon that has the princess, where you could call her a witch, probably. Ooh, that sounds pretty, Cassandra or Judy.
Judy.
Yeah, as long as it has the witchy look, like a dragon that has like a witch or a woman with it, where it could be her familiar or something like that.
Witchy witch, I am the king.
Like I have one, and I did not know it was an Ann Stokes picture. Actually, I did not know it was an Ann Stokes picture until I started following her page, and then I went, "Well, dang it," because I really didn't know. That probably no, because it's more of like a witchy god. Well, actually, if you can find a god that's a red dragon, or name it for a god, but I literally didn't know. And what it is, I think it's off of Game of Thrones, and it's where she's like standing in front of the dragon face, and they're like nose to nose. And hi Tijuana, I have that one and literally did not realize it was an Ann Stokes until like 4 days ago.
Who is the tower now?
If it has the magical feel to it, look to it, because witchy's magical, that would be fine. All right, now.
I'm tall. Can you show the camera on you seem to be tall?
Oh, you're going to end up in my lap.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I was back all over.
Yeah, I would just say, use that one and just kind of find a dragon god. That's like the one I'm using. Didn't get notification on what, Tijuana? Oh, that I was going live? That's weird. Maybe it's because I go through StreamYard. I don't know. I need to start, but since I was here and they didn't walk out the door until I just came on here, what I'm going to try to start doing is going into Instagram and posting like a half hour and saying going live in a half hour, or scheduling it so that it'll pop up with a half hour notice. I'm noticing that the more subscribers I get, the more I guess cookies I get from YouTube. That is so strange. But I know sometimes I don't get them either. I think it's a YouTube thing.
Nana, can you show the people who I'm using to be tall? I'm using 4 stacks of pillow to be tall.
You wanted me to show you him being tall. So I guess what I need to do is go on like a half an hour to an hour before and schedule it. And then that way it'll, give my hair back. Sorry. It'll pop it up to, 30 minutes till I go live. I'll try that. That's weird. I don't know. I have a girlfriend that's subscribed and she says she never gets notifications. She never knows I go live. Yes, you are tired. Taller than me.
Yeah, first time being taller than a parent when them sit there.
That's like I was trying to see if I could go in here and like put my Patreon or my Ko-fi banner in there, and it was like, oh Lord, ow!
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
You are trying to kill my hair. I'm going to have to do it through my laptop to where I can get the links and then put them in there, and then maybe it'll keep them. Don't pull my hair.
I'm not trying to. I'm trying to put a wolf on top of your head.
Well, it hurts. It hurts.
And
I got more hair than you, so quit pulling it. Ouch.
I'm not trying to.
He's sitting on my hair.
I'm
And
not.
it kind of hurts. No, now he's giving me hearts over my head.
That's the heart that they're coming.
And that might be it, because if you don't have it set to all, then you might not get certain ones. Like you may get the video, but not the live. And I think the last video I did was that quickie giveaway one. But like I said, when I get home, I have to clean some rocks, and then I'll do a video on, like, after they're cleaned, how you put it in there, what you put with it, and turn on that god awful loud thing, because I imagine it's going to be loud. I told them I would do their rocks first, as we gathered them all and see what they got. Stop. I'm all fired up. I'm glad to see you. You finally made it. Yeah, I've decided I'm gonna get. Well, Judy, you get the one tray from Nick's whenever you sign up for Patreon, but it's your name. But I'm gonna actually buy one that's gonna be just say 11 on it, and that'll be the one I use during my lives. Or when I'm okay now, when I'm doing whipping chats, since I now got the stiffy that, yeah, that thing's unreal. It is literally about this big around, and it's copper. And so, I mean, I had to literally put it down on the couch and then put all my weight on it to make it thin. Ouch. Yeah, I'm putting it out on my back porch. And I got that one because I had been paying on my Amazon card forever. I hadn't charged anything on it, so I had money.
I was on the slide and I fell off and.
Yeah, they know you peed on your head.
I peed on my brother. I was trying to pee on my brother, but I kind of got him.
Oh, you're so bad. But I got me the rotary tumbler, the vibrating tumbler, and a rock saw. So my dad's kind of afraid I won't cut fingers off with the rock saw. I was like, I won't cut no fingers off. She still has to do mine that you get for being the Patreon, but I'm actually going to order another one because she did the Cindy Walsh on that one. And I'm going to do one in 11. And then I'll have two. I'll have one with Levin on it and one with my legal name on it. But I mean, I love her trays. Can you be a little more gentle? You're going to hurt Nana.
I'm gonna hurt man. I got a lot of bruises in my.
Well, I don't want no more bruises.
I do.
I don't.
No, I have more bruises than you.
Well, that's right, because I don't do things that give me bruises, and you do. I went to go out and pick some, I was going to go get some cedar, branches and leaves and stuff. And I got about 6 feet from the cedar tree, and it has rained so much that there was like 5 inches of water. And I went, no, wait till it dries. Like, not happening. Yeah, I didn't get any that had the lids like that because I was watching them try to get those lids on and off, and it was like, yeah, that'd kill me. But I love the submarine, and I got the square, and I want to get a shrimp boat or two. Hi there.
Oh, hi.
There's another little. She likes to cross or to Diamond paint too. She's got a couple. Nope, I wasn't crossing that water. I was like, I'll wait till it dries up. That's it. It's like full out or not at all. Full out or not at all. And then it's funny because when they're at my house, and I have the Diet Cokes and stuff. And so she sits there and stalks her brothers till she noticed them go to sleep. And then she's like, can I have a soda? They said, hi, kiddos.
Hello.
Oh, wow, you got a whole set? Lucky person. Let me see. I'm getting my one for my Patreon in the neon pink, the new neon. And it doesn't look that great until she showed it in that other camera. And that is like a hot neon pink. That is my color. That is my jam. That's like that last that TJ had up. I was like, I want that. Didn't get it. Didn't get it. I probably really didn't need it. I mean, I'm just now getting some kind of income. And like I was saying, my long-term disability insurance or company, now that they actually have to pay me, because I've been out of work for 7 months now, so they're actually having to pay me now. And they have this other company that works with them that sent my surgeon a letter saying, can she not just do light duty and wear an abdominal binder? And she called me and she said, are you trying to go back to work? And I said, no. I said, I don't want to be on the table again. I've had 3 open abdominal surgeries in 2 years. And so I was like, no. And so she goes, so what do you want me to tell him? I said, tell him no. Tell him, no, I cannot come back to work, because I mean, I can tell right now that if I was to do anything, I would be back on the table. Yeah, I want one with my name on it. And I think I'm either going to do that purple, the dragon scale, that gray purple. That looks so pretty. Really? For real? The dog's over here talking to me.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, if she needs to make something right, she goes way up and beyond. And I hope I'm one of the winners in the Phoenix this month, because she's got they're calling it, what is it? What are they calling it? Something, it's for the Phoenix event, and it's like a orangey, ombre, yellow, red, and it's beautiful, and it's a silk. And she's only going to have it for this month for the giveaway is for the event. So I so want that. So want it because it's beautiful. Color gets me all the time. I'm a color freak.
Get away and go
No, they don't. I mean, if I've had to have, and we're trying to prepare what a surgeon did to me, and she flat told me, she said, if you even pick up more than a gallon of milk, it's going to rip loose and you're going to have to be back on the table. So no, you cannot. I mean, because I can't even pick up more than that. I can't mow my lawn on a riding lawnmower. I mean, if I can't do that, well, I have no business work. It's just like I have no business being out there, because I'm just going to be injured. I've been in an abdominal binder since November. I just got to where I was released to start driving in like the end of February, so no. And I just told her, I said, you tell them no. And then I called up my long-term insurance because I had already ripped them a new head. And the poor guy, he said, yeah, I got signed your case because, you got the claim. So I've been assigned your case. I said, well, and I was just like, I was going off on him. And I told him, I said, no. I said, if you want to be me and go sit on the table again and have your guts ripped open because your guts are falling out, be my guest. But I don't want to. And he was like, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, ma'am. He said, as long as that doctor sends us that, you're good. I was like, I haven't been out of work for 7 months and not had any income for 7 months because I'm trying to file for disability, to have you try to go get a $10 an hour job to mess all that up. I was like, oh, y'all crazy.
That's my house.
I was like, my dad was like, someone fired you up. What's going on? I told him, he says, no, you can't work. I mean, as it is, my dad has to come over to my house once a week and fill up my dog's water dish because it's one of those 5-gallon bucket things. And I can't pick that up. And the screwy thing is the way by the time, what? Your mom's right. You get it up there, they're going to love you. But it's crazy because a doctor did this to me. And I was told by a lawyer, don't hire a lawyer until you're fixed or they think you're fixed. See, I applied back in November, and last time I looked, which was probably February, Marchish, I was at 50% of the claim had been done. So why would I turn around and go get a stupid job that would nullify all that? But yeah, and so finally, after 3 surgeries, full open abdominal surgeries, they figured out what he did, and they've got it 80% of the way fixed, other than the fact I cannot work. So if I go to work, it's like gone again. And find out that it took them over 2 years. Now stop it, all 3 of you. It took over 2 years for them to find how to fix it. And after 2 years, you can't go back and file on anybody. So it takes forever to figure out what they screwed up. And then you have no way of saying, hey, I messed up for life. I got to do this, this, and this. I need to be, get some retribution. You can't file for anything.
And it wasn't you guys. It was just Sissy, Asher, and me. That was, I mean, it was Asher and Sissy that was fighting, but I was doing nothing but writing.
Yeah, see, they sit there, and when my doctor, because they weren't going to let me go back to work, and he put an FMLA in for a year. I mean, it was like I wasn't supposed to be able to go back to work till like the end of November of this year. And they called me up and said, no, we're going to have to let you go. So I was basically let go in February and told that, you're out there. So luckily, I'd been paying for long-term disability, and so I was only a month out, so it still was effective. Otherwise, I've been screwed, but I hadn't had a paycheck since September because I was using like 8 hours every 2 weeks just to cover my insurance because I really needed the insurance coverage. And Judy, I don't know, were you ever prior military? Because if you were prior military, whether you were, hey, boys, don't stand on the furniture. Hey, right there. You've been told to leave those pillows alone. But I'm sorry you weren't, because I did not realize that my daughter researched it. And since I was prior military, I'm able to get VA medical insurance for very little. And it's like my meds cost me $15. A office fee is $15. And actually, if they were using my income that I have now versus, if you two don't stop, I'm going to get the red thing or the purple thing. But found out that once I go a whole year and they can use my new W-2, I won't have to pay anything. Because if you're prior military, whether you have any disabilities from the military or not, once you have no income, you can apply for medical insurance to the VA, and you'll know that I found out the next day that I was accepted for it. And I sat there and cried. Well, thank you, all fired up. And I was like so relieved because they have no insurance and health problems. I was just like devastated. I was like, and I was looking for insurance, and they wanted like $700-800 a month, and I was just like, you have got to be out of your fucking mind. Well, at least was able to get on your husband's. I don't have a husband, so I was out of luck there. Yeah, he went bye-bye after he pulled the shotgun and was shooting over the grandkids in my daughter's car because he was wanting to shoot her husband. So yeah, he went bye-bye real quick. Especially whenever all he had to say about it was, at least I didn't shoot in the car. And I was just like, that was not the right thing to say. I would say that that's a yes, but in a way that's a no, because I know people in those universal countries, and whereas it was very traumatic. Very traumatic. Now, that was the wrong answer because they came and arrested him that night from the house and told me it was going to be $8,000 to get him out because his bond was like $80,000. And I was like, yeah, you can just keep them. And then I had money in my bank account, but I didn't want his kids to know I had the money. So I took all the money I had in my bank account and paid it toward my house. And they were like, are you selling your house or something? I'm like, no, just making a big payment. And I left his butt in there for 3 months. And while he was in there, I literally filed for divorce myself. I mean, I got online, did the paperwork myself, went to the court myself, played my own lawyer. And I didn't even have to get to the part where he was shooting at people. The lawyer was like, all right, you got the best case all day. It's approved. It was bad though. I have never felt that much terror in my life ever, to have some crazy fool stand in front of right in front of the car and then shooting over the car, shooting down the ground. One grandbaby was like 5, 6 months. The other one was a little over a year. My granddaughter was like 5. And of course, the stuff's ricocheting off the ground, and I'm like, oh my God, someone's going to get hit. My daughter was so terrified, she crapped her pants. You know how terrified you have to be to crap your pants? Pretty terrified. I was terrified, and I'm like over there, and all I could think to do was, I was trying to get the shotgun out of his arms, and I couldn't. So, like a mama piranha, yeah, it did give me PTSD bad. That and everything else that's gone on over the last 4 years, bad. And so it was like, literally all I remember is I latched on like a piranha, and literally he was like throwing me all over and kicking me, trying to get me off of him, because I was like, I had bit down on his arm to try to get him to let go of the shotgun, and was like hanging on for dear life, just. And so when the police picked him up, I said, oh, by the way, the bite mark's mine, trying to get him to let go of the shotgun. And they were like, okay, ma'am. I mean, it was just, oh, I've never been that terrified. Never been that terrified. My son's sitting there hanging on to the barrel of the shotgun and just going, we're not going to shoot anybody today. Just nice, calm, collective, and trying to hold it where the barrel was facing out in the woods so it wouldn't hit anybody. And it was just bad. It was really bad. So I went from that to the following year, I lost my mom, and I did CPR on her, and that's horrible. Don't ever want to do it again on another family member. That was awful. And then 3 weeks later was when my thing happened, and I died and came back and was like comatose on the vent for a week. So it's been a lot in the last 4 years. Then COVID hit, and they made me work in the COVID area all the time. And I was having flashbacks of being on the ventilator and not being able to breathe. And so, yeah, it's a miracle I didn't go bonkers before that. Because I never really got to heal from one thing before another thing would hit. But yeah, that was bad. But I'll tell you, I was never so scared because all 3 of the grandkids were in the car. My daughter was in the car. Crazy fools out there shooting above it and in the ground in front of it and screaming and yelling and going, I want to shoot them. I want to shoot them. I was like, oh my God. Well, thank you. Yeah, my therapist, I've gone to start seeing a therapist, and she's like, I told her, I said, well, I live out here and I really I don't see people. I don't go anywhere. I don't do anything, but I did start YouTube. She goes, keep doing YouTube. She goes, they are your lifeline right now. They are, if that's how you get people. Actually, no, my daughter and son-in-law would not press charges. So, and the city or the state quit let him out because it was costing them too much to pay for his meds. But he actually moved to Maine, so he is. But they dropped he had terroristic threatening, endangering mine. He had like 5 counts of endangering minors against him. The terroristic threatening, the assault with a weapon. He had a bunch of them, and they ended up dropping it from all like 5 charges that was costing like if they're about $80,000 for his, bond, to where it was like going to be 1,000 for him to bail out. And I say I don't have a husband, I don't have boyfriends. I just don't. I see nothing but my dogs, and occasionally I can get my dad to come over, and he just lives across the street. But so it was like, YouTube's, that's where I get all my socialization. So they were like, you keep doing YouTube. I was like, okay, I can do that. And of course, kids. I get lots of kids. Lots of kids. But it's like, I just don't go very far. I don't do very much. My daughter, like last year, she went to some restaurant for, our veterans thing. And I said, oh my God. She goes, Mom, you got to leave your house to go get it. And I was like, oh, true that. Okay, oh, well. And actually, when I went to the VA, believe it or not, I had regular health care, and I worked for a healthcare facility. Do you think I could get mental health care? With everything that I've gone through, do you think I can get mental health care? Nope. And first appointment with the VA, they were like, hey, we're getting you set up. She goes, it's not that you really need a psychiatrist, but we want him to run your meds, and we're going to send you for therapy. And I asked the psychiatrist, I said, am I crazy? He said, no. He said, you've just been hit with a lot of trauma in a short amount of time. He said, so we're going to change this up. See, I'm like you, Cassandra. I don't have a hubby. I don't have a boyfriend. I can't even get my girlfriend to answer the phone. The only time she answers the phone is when she wants something from me. So YouTube, and it's my life. It's what I do. It is what I do. I babysit a lot because since I'm not working anymore, they're like, "Oh, instant babysitter." And it's like, okay. But the thing is, at least my grandkids, when they grow up, they'll have a lot of memories. A lot of memories. And that's one thing about it. The sound's bad. Make sure that this is all the way down. And of course, I'm not in my house, so. And I don't know how their internet is here. Yeah, I have five of them that live within. Let's go to the seventh one. And I've had all 5 of them at the time. And maybe you'll get. Yeah, it's like y'all are my lifeline. I don't even watch real TV hardly anymore. I just do. I mean, I've watched some movies, and I got into watching Mayday. Okay, after watching Mayday, I have to say I will never get on another airplane because, well, maybe after therapy I will, but it's the loss of control when I realized that a lot of these plane crashes were due to either the mechanics not doing something correctly or the pilot's not paying attention. I mean, just really stupid crap. So it was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to get on a plane, because at least when I'm in the passenger seat, I can reach over and say, yo, pay attention. Sorry about that, guys. I just had something come off the dog, and I got a dog in my lap now. So it's like, it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. No. And then I've gotten to where I watch rock hounding. That's it. That's like you guys know more about me than a lot of people, because I have actually got on here, and between my lives or my videos and the ones with uniquely yours, it's been more like therapy. It really has, because we actually really do get into some deep stuff and talk. And it's helped me more than you would know. It really has. It really has, because I can literally say back in November, end of November, 1st of December, before I started YouTube, I literally looked at my daughter and went, I am broken. And went to my doctor and said, I am broken, because I was numb. I was broken. I just didn't feel anything. I mean, happy, I was broken. And yeah, it was like, you can tell when you're getting better when you've been to rock bottom. It's like, it was bad. If you ever hit there, you yourself know you're broken. And when you yourself know you are broken, that's pretty dang broken. So I'm a lot better, because it was just like, I could sit there, and what was I watching? I can't remember. I'm thinking it was Enterprise. It was a series, but their intro song, I sit there, in every episode I cried. It's absolutely wonderful for your mental health. It really is, because it's like you realize that you're not the only one. You realize you are not the only one. But yeah, when I sit there and I couldn't watch an episode because I would bawl from the intro music, it was like, yeah, this is not good. And it was like, and it went on, for months. I went to my doctor and was like, yeah, I got to do something. Because it's nowhere to be. And actually, yeah, that's why I get so many kids done, because I get in there and focus. And actually, the psychiatrist, he was like, I have a few patients that do that, and they say it helps immensely. And one piece of advice I can give you, Sarah, is when you feel like crying, just cry. Work your way through it. Work your way through it. I had many conversations with my mom. Hi, Stacy. What I really like. Many conversations with my mom. And I did I need to pull up that 4-generation picture too, and put it on my page, because I told people I would. But when I did that, I bawled like a baby through the whole thing. This number? Yeah, it helps immensely. And when I told my dad that I felt guilty, and talked to him, because I did, I felt very guilty. And he was like, no, he says, it wasn't your fault. There was nothing you could have done. He said, don't feel guilty. But as a daughter and a nurse, I felt guilty. I mean, I felt really guilty. Because, I've always been, and I always worked critical care. So, I was always the one that kept people alive. So it's just like, it was very devastating. But you can't see money on other. Yeah, I understand that, Sarah. Families. Just remember, the family you have is not who your friends are. I got a friend, and she's like, well, my sister is always saying this to me, and it makes me feel very bad, and very blah, blah. And I said, just remember, your siblings is, yeah, you love them, you're with them, but they're not your friends because you didn't pick them. And it basically is just try to mend your bridges as much as long as it's not interfering with your mental welfare. Like if you're having to do something that you're really not comfortable with to mend the bridge, then it's not mendable. Because I was that way with my dad, and I didn't even go to his funeral because it was like, mm-mm, I'm not gonna. Because all he ever would do was call you up and cuss you out. You hadn't seen him for 2 months, and he'd call you up and cuss you out. And I was just like, you. If that's all you want to do, then I don't have no use for it. So I totally understand it. And grief, you have to work through all the stages. And there's many of them, and they don't go in a set way. They show up. Wow, that's awful. But yeah. That I'm so sorry, Sarah, but grief, it doesn't come in a set order. I mean, in the book, it's in a set order. Boop, 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 boop. No, and it hits you at different times. I have been driving down the road and have it hit me. And the sad thing is as adults, there's so many things that happened in our childhood that we have put in Pandora's box, and we've locked it with a nice little lid, and something happens in our adult life that pops that box open, and then you're hit with everything. And like you never had the time or chance to tell, how traumatized she made you feel. And, that's your closure. I mean, at least with my mom, the last 7 years that she was alive, I had actually moved out to the land across from theirs so that I could be close because they were both getting up in their late 60s. Well, my dad was late 60s. My mom was, right at 70, 71. And he was like 68, 69. So I moved over there to kind of keep an eye on him and everything. And her passing has been harder on me because was with her every day, that I was not at work. And so my relationship with her was much closer than my brother and sister, who would call her, but they weren't there every day. And so it's been rougher on me, and my dad will be too, because I'm right there with him all the time, especially now because I don't work. So I'm really there with him all the time. And so in a way, I'm blessed because I have all that time with him. But it's more painful because you're with them all the time. Like when I go out my front door, I see my mom's house. I fully expect to see her on the front porch. So I understand. I do understand. And Sarah, you need to have someone that you can vent your feelings to, tell your story to, that's not going to hold it up against you, that you can get it out and work through it. Even if it's just so you can talk, just get it out. I mean, just get it out. Roscoe.
What is this?
Because life is tough. Life is very tough. And evidently, I'm actually, because, I've been doing a lot of me work, I guess you would call it. And I've actually started having dreams again. I mean, I went to where I was having dreamless states. Of course, I don't sleep with crap. But, yeah, I'm sorry that I keep rubbing my nose because it's just like crazy. Oh, my poor eyes are so swollen. Look like I've been crying for a week, but I really haven't. It's just all these stinking allergies. Well, you're welcome, all fired up. Now, one day I sat here, I don't lie, and I was given health care for, and Christopher loved that live because I will tell anybody, do not trust. If you feel a certain way and you know what your body's doing and you feel that way, if you have to, you go get another doctor's opinion, because a lot of times they don't listen to you. They're looking at their paper. Yes, that's the black doggy. It's not even my doggy. But they'll just sit there and not pay attention to you. They don't listen to you. So you make them make sure they're looking in your eyes, because they're not paying attention unless they're looking in your eyes. Yeah, you don't want the chest pains. That is not good.
See how much money?
No, but I do need to get one, because you can tell, of course, I'm allergic to dogs, I'm allergic to cats, I'm allergic to everything I live around. So it's like, oh.
That's so much.
But I actually do need to get on Amazon and look around and see if I can find one, at least put it in the bedroom at night, so that way, I'm not waking up with my head like, I woke up today and it was like my head been stuck full of cotton. And part of it's the stress, and I know your anxiety has to be like majorly, I'm trying to figure it, majorly flared up. And there was on YouTube, what's her name? Therapy in a Nutshell. Look for Therapy in a Nutshell. And she actually, I found her last night while I was taking a bath. And it's like, she will actually teaches you how to retrain your brain. Because like the PTSD, she was saying it's not just what happened to you, it actually rewires your brain to where it'll think you're under attack even if you're not, and you'll have those stress responses. And so she teaches you how to counteract them and retrain your brain. And I was like, and you know how Rose has talked about, doing this to Kinsey and it helps. She was actually talking about the tap method. And it's like you tap on your forehead 7 times, and then you tap between your eyes 7 times, and then below your nose, and then your chin, and then your chest, then your shoulder, and then.
You're not going to buy it.
Well, thank you. Yeah. My nursing has stayed with me, even though I don't nurse anymore. And then I tap underneath your arm, like the middle of your rib cage. And she said, by the time you get there to that point, your anxiety will drop down 1 to 2 numbers from what you're having generally. So, I mean, it's like, try it. It might work. I mean, because I had never heard her. I mean, I heard, Rose talk about how she puts pressure, but this one was like, and this is a therapist, and she's saying to do the tapping. And she was saying you tap and you count out loud to 7, and then each place. And she goes, by the time just that motion. Yeah, the nurse. I mean, I was a nurse for 30 years. And it does seem to help, because that was one of the things, working with all the stuff that's happened in the last 4 years. I ended up getting anxiety and PTSD and, all that crazy stuff. And so I've been trying to do all this until I finally got somewhere that would give me some kind of help. And I almost cried when I was able to get help because I knew that it was bad. And I knew it did it. I just didn't know how to work through it, which is sad. See, Judy with a Y and Judy with an I. There's another Cindy on one of the groups, and she's Cindy with a Y, and I'm Cindy with an I. And if you can, like, have people pen and paper next to your bed, and when you wake up, if you remember any parts of it, write them down. Another one she was saying, that was good, Roscoe. She was saying to do a journal, start doing journaling, like when you have feelings come up, write them down. She goes, that will actually help rewire your brain to, because she was like, I was like, holy crap, at least I understand what you're talking about. But it was like the hippocampus and the amygdala and all them things. And she was explaining how when you have PTSD, one actually shrinks and the other one actually enlarges. And that's why you're in pretty much fight or flight all the time. So, and she is called Therapy in a Nutshell on YouTube. But they're pretty good. I don't know if I could journal just because, and yoga. She said yoga is good. I don't know if it's just because of the routine but she gives you things and she'll, I think it's like 30 minutes at a time. There, go plug it in that one over there. It's like 30 minutes for each episode of her lives. You're going to break your tablet doing that. He just dropped his tablet off the couch to the floor.
Mom, with the tablet. Mom.
Yeah, now my writing is like I find little herbal concoctions like that, the nettle mullein, what you call it, ginger tea thing, because I'm going to try that. And I've gotten where I write them down in a little book. My granddaughter was like, "Can I have this?" I was like, "No." She goes, "What do you got wrote in here?" And I'm like, "Well, those are my things of different spices that I'm putting together." That and my crystal collection. She went over there and was like looking at that, and I was just like, "Yeah, no." I just read your whole name all fired up. It was like, yeah, I've gotten to where I just like do the first name or except Stacy. Sorry, Stacy. I just realized I put an E in your name and you don't have an E in your name. Oh, God, my itch, my nose. One thing about it is what my doctor put me on for my anxiety is also an antihistamine, so it is going to help my nose immensely. Because us older ladies, and you'll remember it, is back in the day when they gave us hydroxyzine when we were having bad allergy attacks and sinus attacks. Well, that's what he put me on for my anxiety, because he was like, I don't want to put you on anything like a benzo or anything. He says to try this. And I was like, cool, I'll try it. The only reason I spell my name the way I do is when I was in the military, I had to sign everything Cynthia for the military. But I always went by Cindy. And so I would start writing my name and always mess it up. So I finally just started spelling Cindy with the CYN. So by the time I got to the fourth letter, I knew which one I was signing. Yeah, I had my first therapy session May 13th. It took that long to get in. I mean, it's like you can't get nowhere. In the psychiatrist session, they don't have one on site anymore. They're trying to get one. So he was like in Mountain Home, which is like a 3-hour drive. So that was a phone session. But At least the headache's gone. The nose is back, but I'm in the middle. You would think it would be out in the country, but they've got something blooming around here that is just tearing me up. But they kind of live next to a walking park, and that's like it. Yeah, because I used to live in this town till I moved out in the country. Why are you beating yourself in the head? I got one beating himself in the head over here. You want to come say hi to the people? Asher, you want to come say hi to the people? Yeah? Say hi.
Hi.
Tell them your name.
My name is Asher.
And how old are you?
4.
You're not. Well, you are 4 because you're going to be 5, aren't you? Yep, for 4. You're a little bitty 4-year-old. See? Little bitty thing. Little bitty thing. But of course, he's the one that I bought the staple gun for because he's always getting cut, hurt. So my daughter was like, "Can you sew him up?" And I said, "Let me see what I can do." And I got on Amazon and found a staple gun.
Nana, can you?
They said hi.
Nana,
What?
can you please X out these 3 so I can do Roblox? Because I don't have I have a lot of stuff that I can't play Roblox.
Oh, that one's up to your mommy. Sorry. Now, all of her kids' names start with an A. She's got Alexis. And then we have Aiden. And do you remember that it was on Sci-Fi? Was Human? No, not Human.
And Asher.
It was the one that had the werewolf and the vampire live together.
Mm-hmm.
And the vampire's name was Aiden. Well, that's who Aiden's named after. And then Asher. Yeah.
Asher's my twin brother.
Well, no, that's like they're like Irish twins. They're like 19 months apart.
I'm just Asher now. Oh, I don't want to.
And yeah, they run you ragged.
I got the.
That's right. It's like, yeah. I had to say that I got all my gray hairs from them, but I didn't. I got it from when I worked in ICU. I'd say my kids in ICU is what I got. Well, my daughter, because she was something else. But yeah, that's what my gray hair is from. Hey, turn that down. Nana's sitting here on the phone, so go somewhere else with it. Buddy, you heard me.
I don't understand.
Well, then turn it all the way down. Yeah, it was so funny because they tried to call me grandma, and I was like, no. Yeah, that's right. That's funny, isn't it? Because I'm not grandma, am I? I'm Nana.
I'm just gonna get some drawing music.
Okay, Asher thought that was hilarious. No, you're not gonna call me grandma. You're gonna call me Nana.
I'm calling you grandma.
No.
Mine is the one that said, "Where's the one that laughed?"
What?
The one that laughed.
The one that laughed?
Yeah, the one that had a laughing emoji. Like,
oh, the smile?
No, the.
Well, my daughter, when she was going, and we're not quite even, but now Asher almost made us even, but yeah, not quite even. And she had her little meltdown. My husband was in Korea. I had 3 kids. And she acted like a royal crazy loony nut. Ooh. In the middle of Boy Scout. We're in a northern Maine base. My husband's off site for a year. I'm there. I'm just kind of like, oh, you're still here? Okay, well, we'll check on you every once in a while. And I think they just forgot I was there. They sit there and waved at you guys. And so I'm sitting there and we're at the Boy Scout, award ceremony. And she was really acting a butt. So I asked someone, can you bring the other 2 home and I'll take her home? Well, she heard me say that. We hit the door and she grabbed hold of it with both legs, both arms, and started screaming at the top of her lungs. Everybody that was in the restaurant came out. Everyone that was in the convention hall came out to see who was killing what. They'd already called the base police and said that someone was beating a kid. So about 9 cop cars pull up and see that I'm not beating the kid, that I'm literally just trying to get the kid out the door. So they start trying to pry her loose. And then we start trying to put her in the car, and she goes in one side, comes out the other. So they finally, one stood on one side, they put her in the other side, and finally had some poor lady ride with us. I've never been so embarrassed in my life. You could have dug a hole and I would have jumped in it. So I told her, we're not quite there. I mean, yeah, you've had to carry him out like a football screaming, but you ain't had to pry him loose and have the cops called on you. It's just like, that was so embarrassing. And she was always doing stuff like that as a kid. I mean, it was like, oh, the stories. She's like, Mom, I told some. I told like the one about where she used to play, hey, Aiden, you go do it in your bedroom on your bed, not on the couch.
I have wooden planks under my bed.
Sorry.
I can do that, Mommy. Daddy's bed.
No. Do they let you do it when they're home?
Yes.
No, they don't. I can tell by your face. And your sister just told on you. But yeah, very, very, very embarrassed. So, and she had so many things she did. I've had the police. She came running through the front door saying, yeah, grandchildren are much more fun. She came running through the front door one time and said, if the policeman comes to the front door, I'm not home. And about 5 minutes later, the policeman came to the door. And it was just like, oh my God, child. I mean, yeah, a lot of gray hairs. Mm. And then, of course, I did a solid year in northern Maine, like 50 miles from the top of the state, with 3 kids, no husband, and all that snow. That was awful. And I had to work. So I did the latchkey mom thing, which they don't do anymore, evidently. But I would sit there and I worked the midnight shift, and I had my neighbor keep an ear out for him, and they knew to go to her if something happened. And I would go to work at 10:30 and get home by 7, time to get them off to school. It was just like unreal. And the night that they bombed Iraq, the first night, I don't know how, I guess they were watching TV and it came on as a thing. Well, right after that came on, all the lights in the town, near the base, on the base, around the base, went out. So my children call me at work and they are freaking out. I mean, freaking out, thinking that we're going to be bombed, because that's what it means when the power all went out. So I just kind of looked, I'm sorry. I am so sorry. It's just so much that I looked at my boss and I was like, I am so sorry, but I got 3 children at home that think we're being bombed. I have got to go home. He didn't really care for that very much, but I was like, I'm sorry, I have got to go home. It's not I want to go home. I have got to go home because, that's just the way it was. Didn't have no one, so yeah, they call me, oh, we're being bombed. Yeah. I was like, oh my God. We're not being bombed, but I'm coming home. Back in the latchkey days. My daughter was like, I wish it was that way now. She goes, I can't even let mine out the front door to go play for fear of someone stealing them. She goes, we didn't come home till it was dark. And half the time she wouldn't come home with clothes I sent her out with. I don't know what she did with them. She's one of them children that didn't like clothes. You'd send her out in clothes, and she'd come back maybe in clothes. Maybe. It's like, really? You're clothesless? Where are your clothes at? It was so fun. Then we moved here, and those of you that have heard whippoorwills, my children hate whippoorwills because they said that they kept them up all night. And I've already heard the first whippoorwill. I'm sorry, I don't have my tripod or nothing here, so I can. Um, I actually heard the first frog. What do you have? Come here. What do you have? What is it? You go to your room and don't do it again. Yeah. And it's so funny because they know where everything's hid around here. So they're like getting it and going there. Whereas my house, I know what they're into when they're places. Here, not so much. It's like, where are you going? Oh, let y'all know. I did get the Lady of the Forest, and I have crystal drills that are called frosted. And they look like frosty snow, like you could use them for dewdrops. And I'm gonna put them in the I don't even think of them as wings. It's almost, they're supposed to be wings, but I'm gonna try to make them where they don't look quite like wings. And then I'm gonna go to Tmall, and she's got these things called half pearls. They're little bitty like seed pearls, and they're half. And all along the base of that dress, I'm gonna put them little pearls where the white is down there. It is gonna look so awesome, guys. So awesome. And then I'm gonna steal the frame off of my Disney princesses to use to frame it. Because I know there's a frame in my house that's that size. Yeah, guys, it's like, what they used to, your parents were, and I was a latchkey kid. My mom, so it was like, mom's at work, not to leave the house, who's your contact person if something happens. I know, I was like, I don't need it, but I want it. And then I decided, well, I'll just do that one for my event. She kind of looks like a goddess. And from what I've been reading, goddesses were called lady and gods were called lord. And so since she's lady of the forest, she would kind of be like the goddess of the forest. So I was like, that sounds good. Yeah, and I've already got my drills for my bad day at the office whenever I finally get that thing. Because I have looked, and I mean, if I do it, it's going to be a totally different picture because I have no library. For some reason, they darkened it so much that it's all pretty much 939 in the background. So basically, instead of having the library behind us, yeah, we were latchkeys. It was just like, well, I'm not going to get home till 6 o'clock at night. You come in the door at 3, you shut the door, you lock the door, you do not leave the house. I remember my kids when we had a bad ice storm here in Arkansas, and I was at work when it happened. So I was in Little Rock, and all the truckers, hi, Catherine, all the truckers had actually ran off the road and shut the interstate down. So there wasn't no way I was going to get home anyway. But my kids, the power was out, and we had a fireplace, and they called me up and said, Mom, and I had a wind-up radio where you wind it, and then it plays, and had a flashlight on it. They said, we got the wind-up radio, we got a fire started in the fireplace, and we're cooking hot dogs and bologna on sticks in the fireplace, and that's what we're eating. And my oldest one was like 14, so he came up with that. It's just like, sounds good. Just call me if you need me. And that was back in the, cell phones were just coming out. They hadn't been around long. It's just like, wow. But yeah, my kids sat there and made a fire and was eating hot dogs and bologna over the fireplace. It was just like, poor kids. It's like, But yeah, the bad day at the office, the one I got, they had darkened it so much. Because evidently everyone who's gotten this canvas, there's been some kind of problem with it. But so they're getting it redone. But if I was to do it, there would be no books in the bookcase because there is no bookcase. It's all just blue 939. And so I had bought drills if I have to fix it. It's going to be interesting because it's not going to be the same picture. It'll be like a blue background, and the skeletons, the lady, and the chair. And that's going to be about it. So I really, she's got, of course, when she gets back from seeing her mom, then she's going to deal with them because there's quite a few of us that, for some reason, they had problems doing that canvas. But in fact, Rose may have to go in and lighten it up or something, just because it's so dark, they're coming out too dark. The contrast is too dark in them. But, and then I still got to do the video. And I actually need to go and inventory that because I need to find a canvas. But it's like I've got about 75 of them in boxes that don't have what they are on them that I'm going to have to sit down and do. And it's a matter of too many things to do and not enough time. Not enough time. But I got another row done on my hay. That took 2-3 days because it's been about 1%. I went from 38% to right now I'm at 39%. So it's just like, I'm never going to hit 50%. Never again will I do a canvas that big. The over 5 feet by 4 feet is just way too much, especially with no pattern other than what's in your tablet. Yeah, I won't do that. Plus, I will never. The only reason I almost quit working on it because it's a lot of concentration. But it was like I spent so much on this sucker. I am not throwing it away. Not happening. Not happening. And it's coming out so beautiful, but it's like not happening. Oh, good. One ear just popped. Lord. It is so funny though when you go into, what would you call it? Metaphysical, where the crystals are and all the incense. Yeah, actually, I think mine's bigger than hers. She cut hers into 4, and I've got mine all together. Ours are actually probably about the same size. And I left mine all together instead of cutting it into 4. And that's what's making it so hard is because I am literally working on something that's 5 feet by 4 feet and just have it all rolled up. And then, of course, those canvases are double-sided adhesive. Yeah, I started working on my hay back before anyone started working on their hay. It was just like the 4 kids at 127, back before she was Admore Zest. And she started her, what tree is it? It's by Amy Stewart. And it's a dreamer's tree or something like that. And hers is like 6 or 7 feet long, but really thin. And so I thought, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and start me one. So I picked one that's like 5'3". It's the same height I am, because it's 160 long and it's 120 wide. And my dad actually, it's rough. My dad actually, because I kept having parts hanging off, and he had made something that I can put on my drill table that actually makes my drill table 37 inches tall and 48 inches wide. And so my drill table right now is 3 feet tall, 4 feet wide. It's just like all wrapped up on there. But that way nothing was hanging off. It's just, it's so hard to manage. But I finally figured out a way to do it. But I think it was 4 kids at 127 did hers first. And then I started one. And then I think Stitcherisa started to work on one and quit. I don't know if Rachel Race kept working on hers. Mrs. Coffee was like, oh, heck no. And then a couple months ago, Emeralds and Fairy Lights and Diamonds and Washi started working on one. But yeah, back when I started mine, they didn't have very many places that you could get the drills from. They didn't have very many places you could get the canvases from. It was like, yeah, it was crazy, 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 and a lot of work. I've been working on mine since January of last year. So it's been my event for the Wolf Along for 2 years, and it's my autism event for this year. And I still haven't hit 50%. I love her canvas though. The dragon race, that's beautiful. Actually, now when I first started it, I wasn't, because when I first started, it was very hard. The more I've gotten done, it's easier to place. When it's just all blank, it was really rough. But now that I've got more pictures, and when you start seeing progress, it gets to where it's not so hard. And it's really weird because like when I did her ear area, I had no idea there was a castle on her ear until I got done, turned off the light, and went, wow, there's a castle on her ear. And like that feather, I didn't even see the feather until I turned off the light and stood back and went, oh wow, I'm doing the feather. So it's really weird because when you're working on it, except for like the gazebo, because it was such a contrast in colors, and I thought I was working on the planet, and which I am. There's like a white, almost like a moon, that's over there by those blue flowers. And I think I'm working on the moon because the colors were the moon colors, but I wasn't sure until I turned off the light, and then I was like, oh yeah, I'm working on the moon. That is an interesting canvas. And I thought about putting some white glow in the darks down where I got a waterfall coming off of a cliff that's down by where the fairy king and queen are. And I thought about putting my glow in the dark 5200s or even AB 5200s down there on like the waterfall spray where waterfall spray is coming up. I really thought about doing that. But yeah, I'm actually getting to where I enjoy it now. But I've also started thinking more in cross stitch than diamond painting, because you have to think cross stitch. Literally, you have a canvas that looks like 8 o'clock. That's true too. I bet that'd be cool. I probably have to do it and then look at it and then go back and pull them off. You just had a Pop-Tart. Well, what do you want for snacks? That's what the choice is. The Pop-Tart or soup. Your mom said you could have tortilla soup. And they're all saying no to the tortilla soup. I want tortilla soup. Well, I got 10 more minutes, and I'll get up to the soup. But what?
Mommy doesn't care. Her forgot to say.
I love that. Her forgot to say. I don't think her forgot to say.
Her forgot. We can also be produce. We can eat them without.
No. But like I have neon glow in the dark jellies for the skeletons. And then I have some crystal dark or 704 greens to replace in the skeletons. So I just kind of went crazy. Like I really did more. I have, yeah. Back when I used to work and had a lot of money and nowhere to spend it, yeah. And some of it that I've never even used, I bought it, never used it, and I ended up being giveaways. Y'all getting some cool stuff. I just never really did anything with it. I just kind of bought it and I had it. And yeah, that's it. And like I got some trays that I bought, never used. What are you tearing up? Okay, I'm tearing up a box. Oh, you guys, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. My AC man came out. Finally, the breakers from China came in. So I've been without AC or heater since just toward the end of winter. And so it went from being really cold in the house to start getting really warm in the house. And I was so glad when he showed up. It was just like a mess. They took the slow-mo from China. He was calling me going, I don't know. Knows. I'm so sorry. I think I might have to add an extra antihistamine today, just for a little bit. Everything's blooming now. My car is maroon and it's yellow orange. Probably go by the car wash and spray it off, but yeah, yellow orange. Got its whole new groove. Yeah, it's way too big. It is. I said, I'm looking at the top the other day, and it's 8. Let's see, 120 across, so that'd be 340s, and then it's 80 tall. So that's what. It's like a 40 by 60. 4 of them just to get the one part done. It's crazy. And I would not recommend it unless you really have somewhere that you can like stick it and not move it. Because they also, when you do those, they pop. Because the drills aren't that great of quality. You get off quality unless you really are paying. In fact, when I bought mine, you got them, they bought their drills from China and sent them to you. So it was the China drills. So they pop a lot. So like when I get this part done, I will have to get someone to help me. We'll have to pull it off the table, take it over to the hard floor, roll it really good, and then I'll get my polyacrylic and I'll paint it, let it dry, and then put it back up. Because when you lose a diamond and you're doing one of these, it's not like you can look at the symbol and figure out what color you need, because there is no symbols. So you basically have to look at what the colors are and just try to find one similar. It's like, it looks like this. Because it's like, there's no way. There's just no way. Yeah. But like on my playlist, I've actually got a playlist of them, and when I started working on it, I don't even think I had the very top row done crossed. So I had the gazebo, the roller coaster, and some of her wings done. And that was it. And so, and I think, well, actually I did the wings as a video. So I think I was just finishing up the roller coaster. So I've been doing videos about the gazebo over. So all the gazebo, the roller coaster, the wings, and then the planet, and then the wolves has all been on video. So y'all are seeing it evolve on the videos. And now I've gotten where I post pictures after I do so much of it. And yeah, it's a big project. And if I work on it, like whenever I finish the Woodland Elf, I might, like this time I did one small one. I did the little frog. And then I might actually sit there and do like a small one and a big one each month, and then work on the hay for like a week. And I just work and get it done. But yeah. And then like in about 6 6 weeks, because that's about how long it takes. It takes 4 to 6 weeks to do one set of rocks. You'll see the end result of the rocks. So that'll be cool. And the bigger rocks, I'm planning on cutting them into slivers, probably about that big, that wide, and polish them down to where they're nice and polished and slightly rounded. And I might make cover minders out of those to give out. So, this would be kind of cool. I love making homemade cover minders. You'd be amazed at what you can make them suckers out of. I found a frog magnet that was in the cover minder, slapped another big old magnet on the back of it. But once you get into it, Catherine, and you get so far to where you kind of have something you can figure out where you're at and you don't get lost, then I enjoyed it. Oh, wouldn't that be awesome? I love his work. Because I actually remember the plates, the Thomas Kincaid plates they used to have from, what company was that? Can't even think. You got them like once a month in the mail. I have all the plates across my sliding glass door. Yeah, I thought that would be pretty cool idea, because when you rocks, like the bigger rocks, when you saw them, you get all the insides of them and polish them up. So it's just those big rocks that you can't tumble, you can do that with. But I just like to look at my cover minders. I don't know if you saw that video. I love them. They're up there. Oh, I've had those things for years. But yeah, I got those. And I found, when I was doing that Hobby Lobby walkthrough, you might be able to find them anywhere, but they have the aluminum initials, and that's what all mine are stuck to. It's my aluminum initials, and I found old jewelry I had that I made some out of. I didn't realize Sean Connery had passed away. I was like, where was I? I didn't realize he was that old either. But yeah, it's like, I'm getting old. Wow, he was young. He was very young. He was very young. I think the scariest when I used to work cath lab that I ever was is, and if you're been a nurse for a time, you get an intuition, and if you're a smart nurse, you'll go with your intuition. And so you could tell when someone just basically had some blockage and was having, maybe needed a stent, and you could tell when someone was flat out shut down. And the scariest you will ever feel in your life is when you know in your gut that someone is actively having a major heart attack and you need to get it open because they're losing muscle as you speak. And that is, and it was always like 2 or 3 in the morning when that stuff happened. I mean, it was just like, but it's a horrible feeling because you feel so helpless because you can't do anything. You can sit there and give them meds. You can just sit there and try talking to them and hold their hand. But the doctor's the one that, and he's freaking out because, of course, he's got gut instinct too. And he knows that, this is not good. And he's screaming and yelling like a little Indian banshee about, we got to go, we got to go, we got to go. I mean, before we'd have them all the way prepped, sometimes he was, starting. Because you really know. And they know too, because they'll be telling you, I'm dying. I know I'm dying. I'm dying. And I will never tell anyone, no, that's not right. But I did that one time. I had a guy that sat there and I just knew deep down, I knew something was really wrong, really wrong. But he was worried about having a laparoscopic gallbladder. And I was like, oh no, it won't be. It won't, these are a piece of cake. It's a walk in the park. No. his doctor transected his bile duct. He had to be flown to Boston, had to have a complete biliary tree rebuild. So I was just like, never since then did I ever tell someone everything's going to be all right, or no, nothing's going to happen, because as soon as you say that, something does. I'll tell them we're doing everything we can for you, try to stay calm, but I would not tell them, no, that's not going to happen, because sure as I did, something would happen. It's like, I don't want that on my chest no more. You gonna sing for him?
No.
No? Yeah, the only ones I saw, it was our first guy, Bigelow. Was it Bigelow, the first guy? The one that had the cottages. That kind of reminded me some of his work. And Bob Ross. I used to watch Bob Ross. And I don't know about anyone else, but did you watch Bob Ross? And while you were watching Bob Ross, you were like, oh, I can do that. And then as soon as Bob Ross is off, you're like, how do I do that? But he always made you feel like you could do it. Just make a little tree. And he was so soft-spoken. We're going to make a little tree. We're going to do a little bush. Let's make a little wave. It's like, oh, my Lord. Well, guys, it's been over 2 hours. So I'm going to hop off of here so I can go heat up some tortilla soup for these, or taco soup for these little ones. Maybe they'll eat it. And that way you guys will have a little bit of time before Miss Coffee comes on, so you guys can eat too. I have enjoyed having you with me immensely. Come back again next Friday, and I'll just do them at 5. But come back next Friday. We'll definitely have something to talk about, even if it's just someone else wants to have a talk, and we'll go wherever the subject goes. But love y'all. See y'all later. And I'll get the videos up about the rocks, and I'll sit there and watch them go in. And then I'll listen to them rumble around for a week. Hit the like button on your way out. Oh, and Sarah, you sleep well. Good night. And y'all have a great evening, great sleep, great day, depending on where you are. Hit the like on the way out. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. And see y'all next week. Bye. And love y'all.